Well, hello and welcome back. My name is Kieran Siemens. This is my Inky world. Okay, so today's kind of online word is underwater. Now, I'm not quite sure what I will draw, but the theme will be something underwater. So it'll be a nice bit of fun. So, you ready to do some drawing? Let's go this way. We are rolling, right? Welcome to something underwater. So, really have no ideas at the moment. Let's get a mucky brush. There's a few of these kind of like online drawing places. It's kind of interesting. It gives a nice kind of... Okay. There's a few of these online drawing platforms where people put up words every day, and they're fun. They really are a great bit of fun. If you like drawing, get into some of these groups, and each day they will give you a word, and from that word then you are set to come up with some kind of piece of art to work along with it. And you know, I do find a lot of them are really good fun. Especially if you're kind of setting out. Sometimes when you wake up in the morning and you think, well, what am I going to draw today? You know, you can kind of go to these kind of little kind of clubs almost, and they kind of say, well, today we're drawing the sunset, and then you go, oh, okay, I'll draw a sunset, or they'll draw an alien bug, and you go, what's an alien bug? What do I draw? And it kind of gives you this kind of not, it almost kind of feels like it's not serious, so it kind of relaxes your mind a little bit, you know. Right, I seem to have drawn an eyeball there. What am I thinking? What is my brain talking about? Okay. Let's work that up. Underwater, anyway, is the theme. So, what about a kind of sea turtle or something like that? Be kind of fun, wouldn't it? And I don't know why, but I always kind of feel like the sea turtles have kind of got like wonky eyes, like they've been drinking too much or something, you know. They always seem to look like, whoa, where am I? Beautiful creatures, yes, of course they are, but let's try and make a little bit of a goofy googie one. Oh, goes a fly. What is going on? Look at this. I changed all of these only this morning, and already I broke two earlier on in the Wolfie drawing, and I've broken one just then. I mean, what is going on with these nibs? Somebody don't write and say it's because you're a brutal beast and you're too rough with your nibs. Is there some kind of... Is it the heat? Is it... What seems to be happening here? I've never broken so many nibs in such a short space of time. It's just this constant... That's kind of funky. I'll hopefully wait for that to dry. It'd be nice to get some texture onto that, because usually they're usually covered in barnacles and God knows what else. And a sea turtle will have it will have fins as well, so it won't have that usual kind of big chunky feet like a tortoise does. Which I miss the old tortoises. I haven't seen one in years, but there used to be such beautiful things. You used to walk past. Definitely in England, anyway. I remember we used to walk past people's houses, and you'd see these turtles in their garden, and of course, the whole world made them rare and expensive, and then everybody started stealing them, and it's a common type of thing. It's like it's just a tortoise. It's like I mean, it's a beautiful little fun creature, but all of a sudden it's like, what? It's worth £1,000? What? Yeah, I'll steal that. You know. Oh my God, what has happened now? My ink has kind of changed into a blob. Right, so sea turtle. Let's get some big fins on you. Let's get you down in there, kind of. Let's get you down into some kind of like big kind of. Isn't that what they have? They got like big kind of flipper fins type of thing. Let's get in there. It's nice to when you have these type of words, like in some of these kind of art kind of groups like I was talking about. It's nice because it kind of just takes all the pressure off everything. It's just like it's a bit of fun, and it's quite beautiful because it's not an illustration that's going to appear anywhere. It's just like it's just a bit of fun, and it's a really lovely type of. I'm going to do a little bit more there with that. There's that brush. I'm going to build this up a little bit more. That's too small. Let's get me something bigger, something chunkier. There we are. Look at that. Almost like build this up as a textured kind of body to him. How beautiful would that be? That he's somebody writing to me, and that kind of gives this lovely texture here to kind of have his shell. I wonder if there's any of that. Yeah, I'll wait for that to kind of dry out a little bit, and then I'll go in and I'll put some other texture to it. And the beautiful thing about art and drawing is this ability to kind of build up textures and take textures away. It's like putting in ink and then kind of drying it off and taking it away. I'm going to add some more white in there. I don't know if I've got any white paint. I'm sure I've got white paint. I'm sure I've got white paint. But maybe I've got some like Tipp-Ex or something I can go in and start to. Let's have a quick look. Tipp-Ex is like one of those type of things that it kind of became a little bit like it became like illegal in schools to have because kids would sniff it, and it all became very ridiculous. And I loved Tipp-Ex. I loved the whole kind of, especially as an ink artist, this kind of white correctional fluid, or whatever you would like to term it as, became this beautiful kind of white ink almost. It was really quite just a beautiful kind of thing to have in your kind of palettes. And almost like in the, just give it a shake. And it just has this real beautiful kind of texture to it almost, that and that kind of adds a lot of texture to the shell, even just by kind of, let's get not much left in there, but and it kind of, I think it adds a lot to the whole kind of texture of a shell. And just by going around like that, you can kind of build stuff up. How beautiful is that? Beautiful. I did have some. Is that? Just spraying down a little bit of alcohol there, and it just, sometimes it separates things. The alcohol seems to have this thing of like, kind of breaks things apart. Right, so where was I on the on? I think turtles also have a tail. I'm not quite sure on what kind of tail it would have, but I will give it some kind of texture. And that is our kind of turtle there, floating on his stomach. Let's just get that other side of the turtle in there. And part of drawing is this kind of acceptance of what you have done. Sometimes it's very, I find it's quite kind of beautiful sometimes for me to kind of draw something that in effect kind of goes wrong or goes in a direction that I didn't really expect. I didn't expect to be putting like Tipp-Ex on there and kind of smudging in some of the inks and stuff like that. I didn't really, and that kind of makes the whole picture almost like come alive almost. That you kind of, you see the way I'm like now, I'm starting to think, well, between the black and the white is too strong of a contrast, and you start going in there and adding some little bits of smudging and a little bit of, and this is all like instant thinking. This is not sitting there for hours working things out. This is the beauty of art and the beauty of letting your mind just relax, just go with whatever your heart is saying, whatever your brain is saying, whatever the ink is saying. Just let it happen, Lovely. And then it brings this whole thing here with the textures, from the almost like the light of the top of the thing hitting the shell, going round onto the black, and it's all this texture on the back of it. And I think it's just beautiful the way it, sometimes you have to kind of just let things happen. And I think too much of art is kind of like desperately planned out, and it kind of makes everything very sterile. It kind of makes it very plasticky looking, it's like from a real person to a plastic dummy, and I think sometimes just letting things happen, and sometimes those mistakes, almost, if you want to call them mistakes, I wouldn't really call them mistakes, but those kind of beautiful accidents are really quite a beautiful feeling through the whole. See, that whole shell now for me has made that so much more beautiful. It's made it more relaxed. and adding some of these big, thick kind of wrinkles to the back of the head. Just to marry that up, just to make it flow better from the shell out to the head. You know? That's lovely. That's really, really nice. Getting another little fin. Fin? Is it called a fin? Do you call a turtle's fin a fin? And a turtle's kind of a turtle. Again, just bringing in another little. I almost kind of feel like it's the lovely way that he's very relaxed, almost like floating on his back. Gives this beautiful, beautiful feeling. And again, I'm just going to go in and just slightly darken up that fin in the background there. Forgive me if the word is not fin, won't you? You do know what I mean. His limb. Let me get some nice big bubbles coming up as he's there. Lovely. Let's get some. I wonder if I can. I'm trying not to disturb the feeling that I've already got there. I'm really happy with the character, and I'm going to border it off, of course. But I'm really trying to kind of build a little bit more of a. What are these? Oh, they're too heavy, aren't they? Let's see. I'm just trying to bring in some of the. I don't know if you can see it up there. I'm bringing in some of my muddy waters. I have lots of different combinations of different textures and different waters there, and I'm just going to paint in something to kind of give it a little bit more. That's a bit too thick. Is there a brush? I have a here, mate. This will make you laugh. Look, I have a brush, and the ink. Can you see that? The ink has changed into a large blob on the end of my paintbrush. So the paintbrush is stuck in. I can't get it out. Part of the fun of being a really messy artist and not being very kind of clean and I'm really terribly messy with inks and stuff like that. But I really wanted to kind of get some textures in there of, and I just wanted them to kind of be like feeling of like seaweed and weeds and kind of seaweed and stuff like that, just kind of floating around in the background there, and that would be so beautiful, just to kind of add to the whole kind of watery feeling. And it would be nice to go in there and paint up some of the greys and stuff, just to kind of, and I'm just wondering if that grey will help with that shadow on the back there. Lovely. Just throw that down there. Don't worry about it. Right, so we need a name. My name. My name is Kieran Siemens, of course. And I love getting in here. And it's just, I've said it a million times. You probably hear me saying it all the time, but just the whole process, the whole kind of this adventure is what it's all about. It's not so much about the final piece. That's where this whole madness of AI and stuff like that. It's like, it's not about pushing a button and getting a beautiful image of some kind of unicorn with wings or something. It's about finding it. It's about drawing it. I could have gone and found a great picture of a sea turtle on Google or something, What's the point? when you can create it yourself. You can create the whole world that this creature lives in, all on a piece of paper. You know, look at that. And this is what makes me just so happy about everything. It's like the whole character of this creature has just developed in front of me. He looks so happy. He looks so kind of on his back, floating in the water, you know. And it just, the whole thing just makes me feel fabulous. That this, you know, I kind of just looking at him starts to get you excited about what kind of story. What is his story, you know? He's got the weekend off and he's just lying on his back. He's just won the lottery. He's like, you know, I mean, you can think of anything you want. Lovely. And I do love framing my drawings. I know it's probably a very childish thing to do, but I almost kind of feel like, you know, if they were in the National Gallery or something, they would be framed. So why not frame them on my YouTube channel? And who knows, one day these will all be up in some beautiful gallery where people can walk past and look at them. And the whole amazing thing about today's kind of world. Is there some blue? Is there some blue? Do you got blue? Cyan. Let's see if we can. Let's get my name on there first. And you know, in the future, one day, maybe that these will be an important memory, an important stage of art. You know, the people will be walking around in a gallery and they'll be seeing hundreds of all these drawings that are framed. It would be so beautiful, wouldn't it? And I think it's a beautiful kind of feeling to think that, you know, when Picasso and Van Gogh and all those people were doing their artwork, it was all to do with a feeling. And that's what's so beautiful about art. That this is all a feeling. This feeling that I get when I'm doing my artwork. Now let's just clean that up. And I've got this idea just I'm terrible with this thing, but I kind of feel like my hand is used as a kind of as a masking tool almost. How beautiful is that? Beautiful. That gives it a nice little edge, doesn't it? I've got a blue hand, but that's just by trying to save the framing of it. And there we have this beautiful turtle, sea turtle, underwater, enjoying his day. And I hope you enjoy your day. Get out there and be messy. Go and do something today. Go and enjoy art. Go and get into the feeling of art and have an amazing day. Go and get your fingers all mucky and dirty and whatever. Go on. And I'll see you again tomorrow. All right? Thank you for being here. Please put a comment. Please subscribe. It all helps me and makes me feel great. So any subscription and you'll see what all the videos coming up. There's thousands on there. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.